welcome back. We're live right into the game. Taking a look here, LBZS against EHOME. Should be a fun series. This one means a lot for LBZS. EHOME are trying to secure their upper bracket spot. If they're able to win this series, then they should be through into the upper bracket, upper division for next season, which would be nice. They've got Raji replacing, I believe, Irving.
Yeah.
In the
and
side of LBZS.
Sylar, yeah, I've seen Sylar be playing in the other Chinese tournament the other day, and man, he looked good. I kind of miss Sylar in the scene. Glad that he actually managed to make a comeback. EHOME definitely needs to win this one, which will secure their spot to stay in the upper division for the next season. So a hero that we did not see being picked pretty much at all. I don't remember seeing it across Southeast Asia region. I don't remember seeing it in China at all. That's Pugna. They knew exactly what to pick. This hero is going to be so great against Slardar. You just completely ruined Slardar's game. It's great against Leshrac. You struggle. You need an earlier BKB because of that ward. You're not able to use your abilities. They don't have too much attack speed to be able to deal with the healing ward, the nether ward. So it's going to be a bit rough. The only attack speed they have pretty much is IO.
It just seems interesting to me. You're going to Raji for this last series. It's an important series. You don't have Irving to show up, and it felt like, to me at least, the draft from LBZS didn't feel strong in my eyes. It looked okay. The Leshrac felt like maybe they have some pushing potential, but then immediately EHOME knew what they wanted.
Yeah, EHOME came really prepared, and QQQ, he also joined the EHOME, which we can already see the difference in the way they draft. So yeah, I think it's gonna be hard to play into this Timbersaw. He's playing into 1, 2, 3 strength heroes, so should be an easy job for the Timbersaw in this game. I did not really like Timbersaw at the start of the patch. I didn't really feel him. But I feel like this hero scales right now, especially with the addition of the shard. It was kind of a meme, but now I think it's super good. The damage is 700, the slow is I believe 20%.
Well, what was the game that really changed your thoughts on Timbersaw?
Because I've seen so many games of the Timbersaw actually, just even not doing well in the laning stage, dying one or two times. This is something that Timbersaw struggled with historically. You kill him once, you kill him twice, the snowball effect is gone. There's the stun.
Yeah, trying to go here onto the Lion and make that move. It's just not enough damage. The Hex comes out, so Slardar can't really do much with that. It's early on these levels, just not enough there to get the kill up top. But Bash is coming through with a Slytherin Crush onto the Riki.
Fake hype, nothing going on, still 0-0-0. Mid lane, I see Pugna having a couple of more CS than Leshrac, and I love that early point in the Nether Ward that I talked about, which is going to be hard for Leshrac to deal. Leshrac is a kind of a hero that wants to be able to just put the pressure on the enemies. Usually when you pick Leshrac, you know that you're going to have a good laning stage. I don't think that's going to be the thing here, because he outranges the opponent, so this is his strength.
It's one of the things that I've noticed about LBZS. They sometimes have good matchups, or even when they do have good matchups, it becomes a struggle for them just in the lane. X, he hasn't really shown me anything that's been too amazing in the lanes, even when he's had better matchups. And I want to see more from him. And I think with the Leshrac, there's a potential there that they could push, but up against the Pugna, that feels like that might get nullified out.
Yeah, it could be in a bit of a trouble playing into that matchup. Also, one Hex on the hero. They have no real saves besides IO's relocate, so it could be a bit problematic. You can see the different build on the Leshrac 202, and then we most of the time see Edict being maxed out. Oh, he gets the procs on the bottom. Man, Pangolier is such a strong hero. Just overall, whether it's a position 3, whether it's a position 4, you get so much out of this hero. Scales well, cripples pretty much all the right-click carries, deals well with the supports. They have no ability to stop the roll, which means it's kind of a free Pango game.
Sleep out on
good stun.
XM mid. This should be first blood and will be for X, and that's exactly what I'm talking about, where you need X to really step up, and you've got Raji coming over with the Elder Titan to help get that sleep and set up the stun. Which, for me, looking at Raji, I always thought he was a good 5. He's played with some Chinese teams in the past. With Serenity was his most recent Chinese team, played for Team Dog in Southeast Asia, and that was during a BTS event as they get a kill up top on X Nova. The bashes and just the control there, unable to get the Lion out. And it's a good start from LBZS. This is something we've noticed from EHOME, even with the change to QQQ. The drafts look really good, but the execution hasn't quite been there, but you could see it building.
Yeah, I think they just need a bit more time. If they win this one, we'll stay in the upper division, which is kind of okay considering how they started. So, like, EHOME, I think they will be ready for Season 2. Like, they just need some more time to build it up. Pango with the disarm.
Yeah, Raji trying to run away here as he's got his courier coming with a salve. Get some distance between him and Fade. Going back to your point about the Pangolier, do you like him more in the 3 or the 4?
Depending on the situation here, like 4 is also fine, even though I like Pango to be a bit more aggressive. And we can already see like this is just going to become even more problematic. No procs, so no minus armor. That's why it's called Lucky Shot.
Ooh, Fade in trouble. They also had the Rubik TPing bottom. Fade on the run. If Cat-Yu could get a Fade bolt off, that would feel great and get the kill, which he does. So Cat-Yu getting the 3rd for LBZS. They are getting these kills, but at the same time, you still have a net worth lead for EHOME by a slight margin. At least for the moment. Because I think Ricky... Yeah, Sylar's having a good time here, top.
So is Slardar. Not that bad matchup. You know, Slardar into any pretty much melee hero feels good. Ricky... He has tools to deal with the Slardar, high base armor, high base region, but you know can't be just left alone. Once he hits that level 6, you're gonna feel the more damage coming out. Sylar, another bash. He's toying with him.
Now, Sylar has a way to get out, but plays it a little bit too close to the fire. He might just get burned there. As XM with some help from both Fade and X Nova trying to take the tier 1 tower mid. They do glyph it up, so they'll keep that alive, and that's something that you want to do. Shrink the map of this Leshrac and make sure that he really doesn't do what he wants to do, which is in fact pushing and getting those levels, using the Diabolic Edict to grab towers himself.
Both of the mid laners are extremely good at taking the towers with the blast, with the edict. You can already see like the mid tower being super low. For the LBZS needs like 3 blasts to be able to bring it down. So this is something they need to be careful about. Also like Timbersaw playing with the catapult timing. It's I think they might be able to get the 2 tier 1 towers 10 minutes in.
He's swiping some CS there away from MS. His game so far is okay for the IO, but
yeah, like IO's gonna get the farm, but eventually you need to leave the lane because Timbersaw is gonna cause a lot of issues. You are a strength hero. Dust on the top lane. Ricky just blinks away. Tricks of the trade. Pretty easy stuff. 1 point in edict only. That's a level 6 Leshrac, so you're not gonna really feel the damage, but they are bringing the numbers. Let's see if there's going to be any kind of rotation. Like, Timbersaw didn't kill the tier 1 tower on the bottom yet, so he can't really rotate to the top. Like, you do not want to lose the momentum. You do not want to lose on the XP. They still defend the tower, which is good.
They did, in fact, lose that mid-tier 1. So, get away with getting a tower there, and EHOME start to bolster their lead at 1K. You've got Leshrac, who's up there with the Pugna. Like, this mid-matchup went really well for X, all things considered, and I think that also comes off the back of Raji coming towards mid and helping getting that first blood. They don't actually have a kill on EHOME just yet, but they're okay with where the game is taking itself for the moment.
I lost the tier 1 tower mid, which is a pretty big deal. Like, it gives you another entrance to the triangle where IO will be farming, and you can also have your mid laner rotate freely around the map, either like a bottom tower or be able to defend the top tower. And there it is, like, that's what I said, 10 minutes in, even before 10 minutes in, 2 tier 1 towers falling, so this opens up the map for EHOME, even though they still don't have a single kill on the board.
Right.
They're doing really well. Like, you're just gonna feel that the map is gonna shrink for LBZS.
Which is going to make this game much harder for, I would say, 3 cores that kind of want a little bit of farm here in the early goings.
It's a very like greedy draft where like Leshrac consumes a lot of farm on the map because he farms fast. Same goes for Io, and like I expect Timbersaw to try to possibly TP top and defend, but yeah, they're just bailing right now. Instead, they're getting a kill. So yeah,
I thought they might go the pacifist route, but instead they get a kill on Araji as they're pressuring the tier 2 over bottom. They let that tier 1 fall, but Chalice is having a game which we haven't seen from him throughout the DPC yet, where his lane
Chalice,
goes really well. He's been kind of inconsistent throughout this.
He's been inconsistent. I think he's been way too confident, you know, feeling himself, being able to play like really good for a long period of time. Mid lane.
X in trouble, swashbuckle. He
Oh,
did
gets
proc
the
and the
proc.
lucky shot, and this should be a kill on the Leshrac. That's for XM, and that's the power that they have with just 2 heroes to get that kill over mid.
Chalice this time should not have any trouble transitioning his farm into the mid game. He's the most farmed hero on the map right now. Having a hood, going into Lotus Orb to be able to like deal with the corrosive haze, which is still a very strong ability. You're playing like into Elder Titan and Slardar, so like removing your base armor and also applying minus armor is something you need to be very careful about. Like even though you seem tanky, you still need to build into armor items.
Yeah, they're gonna come over mid again. XM, he really wants to shut down this Leshrac, one of those win conditions there for LBZS to push these
My
towers.
man Pango, like he's
No
getting
fear.
all the procs. Didn't get too many in the lane, but you know, you keep those, you build them up, save them for a bit later. That's called investment, B-Cup.
Nothing I know about. I don't know about investing that well. But he has invested in the procs, and he's getting them here every single time. Is now even the score at 3 apiece. And you just see that Chalice and XM are starting to pull away. I will say, though, the Ricky struggling Sylar behind.
Oh,
but they get
that's a
quick kill.
dirty combo right
Whoop.
there. The Cripify finger. I don't think anyone can like just survive
that.
just the combo. It feels too strong. EHOME, Chalice on the bottom lane, he's just having a really, really good time. I mean, as for LBZS, you need to stay away from this Timbersaw, or you need to bring like Slaughter, ET, Leshrac +1 to be able to kill him.
Yeah, you need to be able to come over and get some kills here, if you can, on Chalice, which is a struggle, like you said. But I'm wondering if even right now they're just behind a little bit too much to make that move. Try to go elsewhere. The stun comes out on Araji. You've already got that ward
Oh,
down
that's
from
bugging out
XM,
with your Cane Rune. You do not want to take this fight.
Not at all, and they've got the life drain onto X. They'll get the kill on the Leshrac. Look over the Slardar. It weighs down a Slither and Crush, but that's not going to help him survive. XM with the double kill now dominating. And EHOME 3K ahead.
Oh, it's
Ricky
one of
going
the
north.
like strongest arcane runes. When you see Pugna with that rune, if you can burst them from 100 to 0 in a second, you run away.
MS, he's getting chased now. Still looking for the sweep.
Good
but
dodge.
avoided by Sylar, which might allow them to continue to jump. They do have XM coming in from the side. Swashbuckle that time does not land from Fade. They do have XM behind the tower, which now puts him in no man's land. Still willing to move and have help from his team and stay aggressive. He throws a stun out. Timber Chain across from KatU, trying to catch up to X-Nova. He'll in fact steal the stun and then the kill for MS as X-Nova finally falls. But it takes a full rotation from LBZS.
A lot of investment to just kill a position 5, which is not that great. Ricky still needs a bit more time to finish his Battle Fury. Like each tower fell, was playing into Slardar, so can't really, you know, blame him that it's not a like 12-minute Battle Fury. No procs this time around.
He's got the Rolling Thunder, and he'll come in to slow there with the life drain. And then again, XM just feeling so strong in this game, getting yet another kill onto X. And Chalice, he stayed bottom. He's continuing to farm. He's close to that Lotus Orb, sitting top of the net worth. This game couldn't get any easier at the moment for him.
It feels like an easy game from the EHOME at this point, where they just need to be able to put a bit more pressure, get the kills every single time. Like the Lion needs to play with Pugna because they can get so many things done. Just buy a bit more time for Ricky to come online. They have all the tools, like they have so many heroes to actually keep them busy. Pangolier, Orb of Corrosion, I love a casual Earn. Just Earn in general is a good overall pickup. I feel like not necessarily it's a must-have on the team, but it feels so good to have it because like sometimes you have two heroes that are like half HP, they want to go back, you can't push the tower, so like that extra heal actually helps out. It's like having 3 cells.
Would you like if he upgraded that into a Spear Vessel after this duels?
No, I would love to see a Blink Dagger to be able to deal with the back lines and then get a Spirit Vessel after.
So go again onto the Slardar who's trying to run. Zhao Fu is on his way back. He gets behind the tier 2 tower. But with pressure coming in from EHOME, it forces a rotation out from at least Cat U. Nobody else coming over just yet as they're continuing to look for farm on IO as well as this Shrek. It's just hard to come by with the pressure that EHOME are putting on. They're squeezing the map really hard.
LBZS cannot play near the Timbersaw. He just feels unkillable. He finished that Lotus Orb, so the spell mechanic is there, which is great against the Corrosive Haze. And yeah, I don't think they take this fight. They don't have the tools to deal with the Nether Ward. Right now, they're like, this is what I talked about. Like, it's a greedy draft. You can see both of these heroes being at the same spot. They love to farm the triangle. I guess the timing that the LBZS is looking for is this Aghanim Scepter on IO. So that's going to give them a bit more damage in the team fights.
But is that even enough? You're down 5K.
I don't think that's
like
enough, but this could be the timing. Also, Slardar decided to go for a Hood, which I can understand. You know, you're playing into Pugna, into Lion. There's a ton of magical damage. But you still need an initiation. Like, you can't make any aggressive moves. Like, imagine Slardar with the Blink Dagger, Blink again, stunning, relocate Leshrac plus IO. Like, you have enough to actually bring down heroes with that kind of stuff.
Right.
But right now, they're just playing a bit more greedy, itemizing greedily, which means that EHOME will get more out of the map.
KU does pick up a Blink Dagger, so they do have a way to get a Blink into the telekinesis. There's a smoke.
Rubik has a Blink. Okay,
yeah.
so like this is one way to start a fight, like not your classic initiator, but at least they can blink in and lift people.
Come over and Zhao Fu is here, but they might spot MS. The question is, do they?
Oh, they want
They
IO.
want both. They'll go for the IO. A lot of damage done
Good
here on
sleep.
X. No, but they're going to go to XM to follow that one up. The super big. They've got the silence out, but it's not going to be enough to control them. Tricks of the trade right over Roches. They've got the Dust. Sylar in trouble. He gets killed off by Zhao Fu, who's on a triple kill.
And they're going to turn that
right to
straight
Roche.
into Roche.
Big fight for LBZS.
Actually, a sick fight from LBZS where like they use their spells properly. Leshrac getting so much, you can feel the power of IO Aghanim Scepter in that fight. And this is something that you need to be careful about. Like this lineup is very good. Like they even had the high ground advantage. Decided to like go look at Chouch. He decided to go on ET. ET lands a really good stomp.
Yeah.
I think Lion needs to be able to control the ET while Timbersaw is on IO dealing the damage. And yeah, Zhao Fu with the cleanup. This lineup from LBZS, don't get me wrong, is very scary in terms of like minus armor and amplifying the damage, like right clicks coming up from the IO. You have Edict, which is also physical damage. Imagine that with the ET Aura and also Corrosive Haze, so that's going to be like a lot of physical damage output coming up from this type of a lineup.
It looked like there just wasn't the communication there. They
Dire's
split.
top tower is under attack.
Raji just landing 4 or 5 man sweep. Certainly going to make that fight really tough, but the communication for LBZS to make it happen, the damage coming out, EHOME need to put it all together. And they had the advantage coming into that fight with the surprise smoke coming through, and now LBZS are the ones who want to smoke and continue to take advantage with this momentum.
Oh, this is
picking
a
up the
good
Aegis.
steal from Rubik. He has Life Drain, which is kind of a saving ability. Like it's paired up nicely with the IO, so he can potentially just be that saving hero. And it's also green. Like look at the synergy on that hero. Looks so nice.
I think his Rubik's pretty high level with the Arcana. Should have everything unlocked. Raji's smoke gets broken. It's something I want to go back to because Raji, this is his signature hero in my eyes. He plays this Elder Titan, or was playing this Elder Titan pretty much every game exclusively when he was playing for Serenity, at least when I was seeing them back then. So I'm really impressed with Raji's play. He doesn't have a lot of net worth, but
he's landing those stomps. That's what matters pretty much. That's their counter initiation when they group up. Also in that fight, Bango did not get the Rolling Thunder off, which could be like a game-winning difference because still there's no abilities that can pierce through spell immunity. Like, you know, Edict is there, but it's not going to stop Pango from rolling. Also, you need to be very careful when we're playing Pango into Rubik, which is a bit tricky. You need to use Rolling Thunder and Shield Crash straight away, so Rubik can't steal it.
Don't want to give up the
oh no, the
rolling
cube.
The Rubik's Cube that comes through and messes up your day. This is I like this from X, because they really need to take out this mid-tier one as well. I think that should be their objective, at least at the end of this age, is maybe take another fight and then go in and take the tier 1. Relocate coming in top. They've got the telekinesis as well as the Earth Splitter throw. Next one falls to Raji. A lot of heroes to come up and get a kill onto the Lion once again, but I think LBZS, they took the tower bottom. They should be happy with what they've got so far with this Aegis, but still the problem lurking in Chalice, who's 10k net worth.
Now with that Blink Dagger on Slaughter, it's much easier for LBZS to actually play the game. We can see the combo being executed. It's a simple one, but it makes them, you know, much stronger on the map. They're pressuring the side lanes. There's always this threat if Slaughter is missing on the map. Blink initiation into relocate type of a play.
They do have 2 Blink initiators now. Slaughter both having that Blink Dagger ready to go. Slaughter going to get the Lotus Orb as well. Sylar, even with this Battle Fury, not top of the net worth, but everything's pretty close towards the top except for the Slardar.
Ricky, right now, doesn't feel like he wants to join the fights, especially with the Aegis still on LBZS. So just wants to be able to farm his another item. I don't think Ricky's gonna be able to feel secure. XM getting caught.
There's the Euros, but here comes Sylar. Can he help out enough? They've got the silence. Here comes the Rolling Thunder coming in from Fade. They'll look over at Zhao Fu, who's been hit with the Rolling Thunder as well as the Decrepify. They've got themselves another blast, but it's not gonna be enough. MS tethered up and looking to finish off this fight. As Chalice goes in, throws out a Whirling Thunder as well as the Timber Chain coming through. The stun is out onto the Elder Titan. They get the kill on Raji and they look over as Tricks of the Trade is used, only getting the Elder Titan so far. It ends up being a 1-for-0 trade in favor of EHOME. And all that, again, just thrown back and forth as it seems like we're getting these big 5-on-5 team fights, but they only result in like 1 kill. Except for the one that happened in the triangle earlier.
Yeah, EHOME, you know, Ricky, I wanted to say that he's still not comfortable just going into a fight until he finishes that, like, Manta style. Very burstable.
Coming over again now, look at the Chalice.
Oh, not the combo.
Not time it right. They still do land the stun. They've got themselves the sweep. They should be able to get the kill, but XM trying to help out as best he can, keeping Chalice alive just barely. They got the bash out on the X-Nova as well as the Corrosive Haze. They'll get the kill onto the Lion, but they end up losing themselves. This IO, Raji falls too, 2 heroes gone, and they have the stun onto X. With the Rolling Thunder putting him up into the air, doesn't look like he's going to be able to get out of this one. He moves himself into the air. Zhao looking for a victim here as he's got himself the Slither and as well as the Corrosive Haze out on XM. They get the kill on the Sylar, 2, they take it out 3. X still surviving, but finally goes down to the Chakram coming out from Chalice. They'll look over and still try to find Fade, but there's the disarm, and that will send him back to base if he can make it there. Telekinesis coming out from this Rubik, but they can't chase enough onto the Slardar, and they only end up trading 3 for 3 in a fight that looked like it was going well for EHOME at the start.
Yeah, LBZS a bit disappointing in terms of like initiation. They're not on the same page where like there's a Blink initiation from Slaughter, but there's also a Yule Scepter from the Lash Rack, so like you can feel that they still don't feel very comfortable playing even with the items, even though it feels like game is pretty even though it's a 5k gold lead for EHOME at the moment. Like LBZS can still take those fights. Also, I don't think Timbersaw is the target that you want to go for as the first, especially with that like Lotus Orb, so he can remove a lot of the stuff. Still don't think you have enough to just bring him from 100 to 0. That extra armor coming up from the Lotus Orb actually kicking in. I see Guardian Greaves queued up for the Timber. I really like that item, you know, it's just gonna make him even more tanky. You will have another way of dispelling things from yourself, so that's gonna be great.
Yeah, even like you said, with the 5k lead, they're still trading. It's pretty crazy how close it feels, even with the lead from EHOME. But I think that also goes back to we're not really feeling the impact from this Ricky yet. He still needs a little bit more, I would say a lot more time at this point. Got a BKB there for the IO of MS. Like, I don't know, I just don't feel like the Rickies.
Yeah, didn't really feel Ricky's influence in this game. Like there was a couple of good clouds, but that's pretty much it. He doesn't deal that much damage at the moment. Like Lashrak is a tanky hero. Same goes for Slardar. There goes the IO. Also, like they need to jump the backline. Also, I would love to see a Spirit Vessel on the Pango this game. He's going like Yule Scepter, Blink, Shard. Like these are all good items, but I feel like Spirit Vessel against like IO is kind of a must-have, especially since you already purchased and earned. So
I'd like to see him get a Blink, but I'd also like that Spirit Vessel if he can get it. He's also waiting for the Shard, have that roll-up mechanic. Xnova's top, and they just TP'd in this Lashrak, but they also have Raji nearby.
that's a Lashrak with the Arcane Rune.
Ooh, they're going to try and get this kill out on the Lashrak. They've got the finger, but there's the sweeper coming in on the two. The stolen finger. That hits, kills off Xnova. They've got the life drain out of the Zhao Fu as well. So here's Twitter coming in on the Sylar. Can they get the kill with the Corrosive Haze? He's going to tricks of the trade out. They've traded so far a 1-for-1 and end up being a 2-for-2 as they take on Sylar, but end up losing Raji. Chalice is in on this. They've got their relocate back with BKB pop by MS, and that finally ends. But now they're turning this around. They're looking to get the kill on the Ren. Clean up. Telekinesis up in the air, and that will be onto this splitter that's thrown over by X. But they're starting to get low on the Lashrak and may not feel comfortable going in for this, but they do have Zhao Fu ball back. Blink with the Slither Crush and the Corrosive Haze out on a Fade, but XM continuing to save some of these heroes with that life drain on his allies. So now he throws down that ward. They don't have a lot of mana left on the Lashrak. They're trying to turn this around with the Lotus Orb being popped on Chalice. Feeling confident moving in, but he gets hit with the Slither Crush. They've got the Corrosive Haze still on a Fade, so he needs to sit back. Otherwise, he might just get blown out.
Oh, Chalice is in. He's in deep.
And Chalice is in deep. They get that kill to Cat U. They end up saving, though, this Lashrak,
Oh,
which is
he's
massive.
a mad guy, you know,
He still wants more.
going for the high ground with no vision whatsoever, just feels unkillable at the moment. And you can feel like EHOME, they understand where they need to take a fight. XM places another Nether Ward, and they're like, yeah, just group around here, don't overextend, fight around the ward. They don't have the best heroes to take it. I placed it well, hit it in the trees. So yeah, good stuff from EHOME in this fight.
I will say, though, Cat U is really good in that exchange. He might lose Sylar. Man, they just lost him in this top fight. They're looking for the sleep, but he's able to get the tricks of the trade-off life drain out on the Sarda, but it's not doing enough damage here for XM. XM maybe can keep alive Sylar, who Blink Strikes over to the side, but just walks away with 2 kills here. I'm surprised that Sylar's able to get himself out. Just as well as the finger coming in from Xnova. X is low, Chakra there. Chalice getting the kill. Pops the Guardian Greaves, so gets a little bit more mana and health on the side of EHOME as they continue to look for something more, but don't quite find it.
Oh man, Sylar needs to be careful. Like, it doesn't really feel that he can do much in those fights. Going into Aghanim Scepter, I don't think he's gonna be able to like just feel comfortable fighting until he gets a BKB.
Yeah.
And having like Battle Fury BKB Manta style also doesn't feel like a great item build. Like you want to be able to scale, investing into that BKB early on. This is something that we don't really see from Ricky got nerfed in the previous patch, but still see him from time to time.
And you're kind of seeing why he's kind of lost his value, right? And why he doesn't get picked up as much.
It's also a tough matchup
Yeah.
into Slardar, so there's always going to be this Corrosive Haze that you need to worry about. There is a Dispel mechanic, of course, from the Manta that he built, but also playing into Lashrak, like you get a jump, you overextend, Lashrak is there, it's a ton of damage. Lashrak is a scary hero to play in for a lot of the carries, like Slark comes to my mind, Phantom Lancer as well. This is the type of heroes that don't like to play into Lash.
So Xnova sitting bottom.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And the rest of EHOME kind of postured near Roche, but I don't think they're going to quite look to take that with nobody gone on LBZS. They would probably want to at least get a pick off somewhere and maybe move into that Roche. Let's see how they play this. Chalice still manning the front lines. He does have that shard, so Flamethrower is active.
And also Cloak of Flames, a lot of fire coming out from the hero.
Yeah.
Cloak of Flamethrower.
Ancient Apparition is melting somewhere off the map. Too much fire coming in. Let's see. Smoke from EHOME. Chalice kind of giving a little bit of information there. We'll see how LBZS approach this. They are sitting together for the moment. The only one that's not there is the Lashrak, who's been very important in these team fights. So he's got to get back with his team. He TP's back to base. He did those boots travel. Maybe they make their move in. This is a stolen Chakram coming out from Cat U. The chain in. Chalice already looking to go through, but they've got the telekinesis. They look over at XM. They've got themselves the corrosive haze. They'll get the kill onto the line and look over now. Slardar just hit with the life drain from XM, and Silence up with the relocate is there to get him out. He's safe and sound, but Raji will not be. They kill off the Elder Titan. They end up making a trade, and the buyback comes out from X Nova. Maybe they'll continue to fight over mid. It's a blink forward from Jiao, who's a little bit short of XM, and now they've got themselves their sight set onto this IO with the life drain. They'll get the kill on MS, and they'll look towards the back lines. Cat U on the run, Chalk him back to him, but he ends up falling to Chalice.
Oh, that relocate play, you know, it saved the hero, but you coming back into the cloud, it's very hard. No BKB, so could not use it. The second Roche, same thing happened for Roche number 1, where they take a fight close to the Roche pit and instantly turn it to Roche. So Cheese and Aegis. Fade was having a really good time throughout this whole game on the Pangolier. Let's see that one again. Fade is was like one of my favorite position for players when he was playing like a year ago. Didn't see too much of him, you know, until the start of the DPC season, but felt really good. Didn't like the retirement, you know, the 5-day retirement coming out from him.
Was it 5? It might have even been like 2 days. I swear, it's always just like, I'm retired. I'm back. I'm gonna do that.
Nah, you need
I'm
to.
retired.
I know it's gonna give a damn speak up. Say you're retiring, like fine, whatever, you know. But
I'm back.
just kidding, just kidding. But it happened across all the other regions. Players love to fake retire.
I wonder. Yeah, I think maybe we'll see it one time with a caster. They retire, they come back.
It's a possibility.
Just like in between events. I'm retired for a week. By the way, I'm going to this event. I'm back. 13K lead here for EHOME. That last fight, it still felt like there was opportunity there for LBZS. Like sometimes you see leads like this, and the game feels completely out of hand. Just a little bit there from LBZS that was maybe not as coordinated as we'd like them to be.
Yeah, there was a couple of fights where they mess up the initiation. Then they're not on the same page who needs to do what. There's another good roll, another good stock. Like he instantly stops it, so that you know, people don't see it. If you're stuck there with the level 15 down, 3 extra seconds of the rolling thunder duration. Chalice, yeah, he has 0 deaths on his Timber Soul. Like we said at the start of the game, it's going to be a really good Timber Soul game, and it's really showing.
Going to go onto the high ground now where they'll pop that glyph. But it doesn't look like EHOME are going anywhere. Despite the glyph coming out, they've got the power from XM, and as well as these other heroes to just take this power out. We'll see if LBZS want to try and fight this. They really need 5 here. KU's been adding a lot to these fights. Pretty important, throwing it back.
They're creep skipping with IO, trying to get something done, but I think this tower just falls to the blast. Backdoor protection. They're not going to have creeps in the base, so it should be kicking in soon. There it is.
It's time to go. Get the tier 3 back off. Feels good for EHOME. They still have an Aegis to work with. I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe migrate towards another lane and make it happen again. Picked up for XM, especially with a rune like that, you can make things happen. Chalice is forward and ahead of his team with a smoke being used here by LBZS. Sylar is still in the jungle. It feels like he's still looking to get some farm and feel a little bit more relevant.
Oh yeah,
this game.
it's one of those games where you feel, I need one more item all the time.
Yeah. Cat U pretty far forward, telekinesis, and now into the Slither Crush fight. XM, he'll be fine, and they've got the finger from the stun coming out from X Nova. That caught this IO pretty far forward. They'll use the Earth Splitter that will land potentially on the Chalice. And they're on the back lines. They get the kill on XM. They'll end up taking out Cat U. So it's being a 1 for 1. No buyback available for XM. They take out MS. Down goes the IO. 83 seconds. Not coming back for a long time. They are right onto the Shrek. They've got the dust. They've got the damage and the kill. They'll take out X. They'll look for more Raju and TP, but it's not in time. 4 heroes out of the side of LBZS, and just XM falling.
They got Pugna, but at what cost? Like they dived there's still tier 1 tower. Like, there's
Radiant's
less
middle
rack in the
barracks are
game.
under attack.
That's something that we don't see quite often, especially as a mid less rack, where like that tower falls rather quickly. So EHOME doing a very good job just protecting that tower. And yeah, they down the tower. Pagana dies, even though like he has a Force Staff, he has an Eon Disc, so like a lot of defensive tools going into Dagon 5 to be able to burst people down. I like the itemization from Pagana, you know, a little bit of a save, which he also saved Ricky a couple of times with that good Force Staff plays. But they also want to be able to scale going into that Dagon, which is always going to be annoying to play into once BKBs are down to 5 seconds. So because Sylar picked up the Aegis, doesn't necessarily need to get a BKB, feels a bit easier for him to play. With the Aegis, can actually itemize for the damage, so going for Daedalus is the right choice.
They lead XM back
Radiant's
in
middle
2.
barracks
They're
has
going to
fallen.
continue to pressure this bottom lane. Sort of finally come back, but moves up into the air. Raji in trouble, and just look at the damage that comes out. Raji's going to immediately buy back. They're pretty here. They've got the silence on to Cat U. He's forced to buy back as well as finally their Shrek comes up. But use buybacks on multiple heroes and telekinesis into the Lotus Orb that's placed on him by Chalice. This is looking bad for Cat U. He just fought back to get the connect. No pop out a MS as well as X. Guardian Greaves keeping them healthy, keeping them forward, looking for more. They've got the Lotus Orb on the Shrek, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to survive. However, with a relocate out, back into the base and potentially looking to re-engage here.
Radiant's bottom tower
It's a
is
tough
under
one,
attack.
and Chalice is just feeling tanky enough to stand in front of them and not really be too scared.
Now you see that flamethrower, you instantly back off. Like, just the animation of that feels super scary to play into, and they can slow siege with Pugna, something that is kind of unique to the hero.
And they're going to go in, they look over at Fade, duels up into the air, but there's Sylar moving into the backline, tricks of the trade right on top of 3 heroes. They finally get the suit on a Chalice, but he pops that flamethrower. They'll eat
gets the
on
cheese off.
Sylar, which was passed over from Chalice.
That
But
was
the
such a big
two-man
play.
stun, Fade ends up dead, Raji drops, disarming and silencing up this Leshrac, trying to run away as he's tethered up to this IO. And Zhao Fu falls to Chalice, who is just beyond godlike and locking down his MVP bid. But Sylar falling quick, and you can tell that Zhao Fu just still has the damage to take out this Ricky, who's not feeling that confident, even after having the Aegis, even after having the cheese. It's just not enough to survive. It's the second time the BKBs have been fought in this engagement, or popped in this engagement, with MS as well as X moving in to try to get the kill on XM. But here comes Chalice once again,
good
doing a lot of
force
damage
stab.
onto MS, and XM. Ooh, another blast with the life drain, but just not enough. The finger comes in from X Nova. They get the kill on MS. They've got themselves the Hexes with the stun coming out from X Nova onto Leshrac, who will throw the stun, landed. It's just not feeling like enough. Guardian Greaves there, keeping X Nova healthy, and down goes X. And really, Chalice, he's not getting touched, he's not getting killed, and he's just outputting so much damage in these fights.
They understand that,
GG.
yeah, there's the GG called. Yeah, they could not do anything. I love the play from XM where he goes one way, then forces himself, you know, in the other way, because it felt really good.
Yeah.
Just, I think Sylar didn't really shine in this game, but he did his job considering the matchup he was playing into. But the rest of the team are doing very well. Like Pangolier was doing some heavy lifting, Pugna with a couple of good Force Staff saves. Just overall good showing from EHOME. Not so yeah.
Yeah, so it looks good from EHOME. They get themselves the victory. We're going to throw it over to a quick break and then be back on the panel in just a second. Stay right there.